What if I told you that Kinger was never crazy, just inactive, and his character design actually hinted at his arc this whole time? Okay, hear me out. It's obvious that Kinger's design is literally the king chess piece, and the more I looked into how the kings actually work in chess, the more everything started to make sense. Because I always imagined the king as this frail old guy doing nothing while everybody protects him. By now you can tell I don't really play chess. But in reality, the king is one of those pieces that only makes sense when you look at the entire game. Because in the opening and middle game, yeah, it mostly just hides behind stronger pieces while everything else is happening. But in the end game, when most pieces are gone and the board is more open, the king starts making moves and becomes an invaluable offensive piece. If you use it well, it can defend pawns better than a knight and even attack better than a bishop. So that one piece that seemed the weakest at the start becomes one of the most important by the end. Sounds familiar? Because in the beginning of the show, Kinger comes across as this crazy and unreliable man, easily spooked, bad with memories, and overall just some funny guy. Compared to the other characters, he just wasn't in the spotlight at first. But while the plot was happening, especially in episode 7, Kinger was still there, just unable to make any decisive move. He isn't progressing in the same way as the others are, but he isn't removed from the game either. Unlike all other pieces from chess, the king is the one piece that is never taken off the board, from the beginning to the very end, even if it doesn't make any progress or doesn't move, just like Kinger was there from the very first day and remained resilient until the end. Also, in chess you don't win by capturing the king, you win by putting him in a position where he can't escape, and that's the checkmate. Even the word checkmate comes from the Persian shahmat, which basically means the king is helpless or defeated. So not dead, just trapped with no more moves. And honestly, that idea alone feels weirdly close to what was going on with Kinger when he remained alone for like 10 years. He literally has no more moves to make. He's been incapacitated all his life by the game, the light, by Cain, and now that Cain is gone, the game just ends. But there's also the visual side of things, making things even more intentional. The king is traditionally the tallest and most easily recognizable piece in chess, serving as a clear visual indicator of his importance. In standard chess sets, he's wearing a cross on top of his head, tying it to the concept called the divine right of kings, where rulers in the 16th century were believed to get their power directly from God. So the king isn't just important, he's chosen and connected to something beyond the earthly rules of the board. And when you look at Kinger through this lens, it kind of feels like that detail might actually mean something. He's not just another character stuck in the same situation as the others. He understands more about what's going on that he lets on. And in episode 8, he actually spills everything. Not to mention that he's literally Cain's father, basically. The creator of this world's god. And then, there's this idea of sacrifice, which is unavoidable in chess. You can't win by keeping all the pieces alive. You win by sacrificing some pieces so you can reach a position where victory is possible. And throughout the show, you can see a similar pattern. Really important characters abstract in the beginning, others come in to fill in their roles and they end up abstracting as well. But through it all, Kinger stays. He's the only constant. And his survivor's guilt makes it seem like all the sacrifices were for him, so he can make it this far and make the ultimate sacrifice of deleting Cain. But in chess, some sacrifices are not the end. The queen in chess is often replaced with a pawn that makes it all the way to the other side of the board, and something similar happened with Ragatha, taking Queenie's role in keeping Kinger from abstracting. And also, if you think about it, Kinger is the white chess piece and Queenie is the black chess piece, so does that mean he had another wife or she had another husband? Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Knowing all this, when episode 8 happens, it doesn't feel random. It actually makes so much sense. In the endgame, close to the end of the show, Kinger starts becoming active, just like his chess piece design suggests. While everybody else plays their roles trying to distract Cain, Kinger ends up making the definitive move, which only works because everyone before him played their part. And what's interesting is that it's not even intentional. Kinger didn't even mean to win this way. He almost aimed for a stalemate situation. but ended up deleting Kane. Regardless, he's the one who delivers the final blow. At this point, I think the comparison is pretty on point. Kinger starts off looking the weakest and like the most unstable, only to end up being the one that actually matters the most when the game reaches its final stage. He surely is the king of the game, and if that's the case, this kinda raises a bigger question, because in chess, the king isn't the one in control, the player is. And that would mean Kinger didn't just randomly succeed at the end, he was helped by someone. And if you watched my Bubble video, you know what I'm hinting at. Okay, I think Bubble is the player. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Here's your reward. A drawing of Jax in an orange jester costume. I dreamed about it, so I had to draw it. Isn't he cute? Now, let me know what you think about this theory. Like, subscribe maybe, and hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye!